Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Slay to Success Talk Show. My name is Rochelle Slay Queen Hemingway, CEO and founder of Slay to Success. I advise and empower women professionals, especially women veterans, to step into their most authentic personal brand to attract and gain lucrative opportunities. And we are using four specific areas: appearance, behaviors, communication skills, and our digital presence. Where is all this coming from? Y'all, I start with the word slay. Okay. The word slay here means to kill it, to dominate it, and to nail it, to be on point, to impress greatly, to dream big and work hard until you own it. It is also an acronym that stands for life and leadership philosophies that resonate with me the most. And because you are here, it will resonate with you too. That is stay ready to be ready, lead out loud, a sense of community, and knowing you are built to last. So as you come into the show, please make sure that you let me know who you are and where you're streaming in from, because I know it's football season, y'all, and you could be spending your time doing a whole lot of different things, but you decided, hey, I wanted to show up, give us some love. I have a slay amazing guest for us tonight to really learn and to be inspired by. So grab your beverage of choice. Okay, y'all, I got water. Today I was with the girls and we were at brunch. Okay, so we had a lot of bottomless mimosas, and so I am just drinking water. Okay, but whatever you got going on, grab a pen. This is where we're going to take some notes because I have a guest that's going to give us all kinds of information that you don't want to miss. Now, the purpose of this talk show, okay, is to highlight men and women who are living life on their own terms and using the slave philosophies to do that, okay, to make a positive impact and influence in this world. All right, so y'all know I search high and low for my guests so that they can be in alignment with what we got going on. Hey, Shanila, how you doing? From New Jersey. That's right. New Jersey in the house. Thank you so much, Queen, for being here. And Lindsay, thank you so much, Queen. Love that you two are here with us live. So whatever you got, questions that you have, this is a place where we're going to be really talking about, that's right, our money. Okay. And we are going to talk about that and so much more. But my guest tonight, y'all, her name is Laila O'Brien. And when we met each other at a networking event, and we already had the same type of energy. And I was like, okay, what are we going to do with this? And so we decided to partner up and be together on this show. And she has been in the financial services industry for over 30 years. That's right. She is a regional vice president of Primerica Incorporated, has 60 licensed agents, and sits on her company's financial independence council and women's board of directors. She educates and empowers people to become financially smarter and equips them with the right financial solutions to meet their goals and dreams. Her business coaching has not only helped people get financial game plans in place, but also expands to teaching people how to be successful and running their own financial service business. She plans to open up 5, okay, new offices and license 100 new agents in the next 2 years. She is fun, okay, and I already know that she is, and dynamic. Yes, I can say and validate that is true. All right. And she has been seen on talks and has been on WJZ Channel 13, on several Baltimore radio stations, and at various organizations, colleges, and companies across the country. She runs her business alongside her husband, Pat, and is a mom of 3 daughters, ages 22, 20, and 18. So please help me give a warm welcome to Laila.
Hello, hello.
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 What's
Great
going
to be here.
on?
Great to be
I
here. Thanks for having me.
know. Oh my goodness. Thanks for being here and for
Yes.
your yes, because I'm like, what are we going to do with this relationship that we're
Mm,
beginning to have? And this was
yeah.
just the perfect opportunity for us to come together and just talk. because that's all we're going to be doing is having a chit chat. So we have
All right.
Fada, who is from Madrid. Okay, y'all, we international.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes. Hola. Hola, Rochelle.
Listen, you could talk to him in Spanish, you know what I mean, and get him all like, talking and writing in it. But we appreciate you for streaming in from Madrid, all right? Because hey, we're global and we can use technology to reach more
Yeah.
people.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
So, okay, Layla. I know we got to calm down because there's a
Mhm.
lot that we can bring to this conversation.
Mhm.
But I just want to know a little bit about your journey. Now, you told me just a little bit when we met,
Mhm.
but just to give the audience just a deeper understanding of who you are. So let's just start prior to you getting into the financial space.
Okay. Sure. Well, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Well, a little bit about my background. I had no interest in this field at all. Full transparency. I daughter of immigrants, a lot of love, no money knowledge, really tight financially, never really could do much of anything, never traveled, paid my way through school. Almost, my dad was in a couple accidents, became disabled. And I was actually, my entire life felt led, just always a pull to lead and help others.
Mm.
And I always had this vision of leading and helping others. And anytime I strayed away from that, it always brought me back to it. So I thought what I was going to do to change the world, which was my mission and passion, is to help others and change the world, make an impact, is to become a public servant. So I did a lot of working on campaigns, interning for senators and delegates, and all that. And I graduated from college, interned at Congress, and when I came back, I'd walked into a bank and I
Mhm.
asked the woman at the bank, "Hey, I'd like to do something with the money I have in my bank." And guys, she literally looked at me, completely prejudged me as this young idiot. That's how I felt anyway. And she goes, "When you're ready to sign up, dear," she just hands me a stack of papers. "When you're ready to sign up, dear, come back." And she kind of flicked me out the door. So I
Mm.
came home. It was around the corner. I walked home and I said, my big brother was actually sitting in the living room when I came in, and I told him what happened. And he's a very quiet, laid back dude that just loves me. We were so close. We are close. And he said, "Don't go to the bank. Go talk to my friend. She's going to teach you things about money." Guys, I made the phone call. She came over, and in 15 minutes, changed my life with
Mm.
a couple financial stories she told me. And that was October 1994. And I was maybe 2 weeks away from finding out if I'm going to land this chief of staff role. And I said, I'm going to start my business. What she showed me was the rule of 72. And I looked at her, I said, "Can I teach other people this?" Now, mind you, I got to add that I had an international business degree, economics, took finance, took accounting, had a 3.87 GPA, was varsity soccer, thought I was successful, president of the student government. I thought I knew some things, and man, I didn't know any money. I didn't know anything about money. I was like, I need to learn about this stuff and educate my community, educate my family. So, guys, that's how it started. I wanted to just educate people and teach financial concepts, and it grew into this beautiful business. I started speaking everywhere just to teach and educate people. And guys, it's a year and a half later, I quit my state of Maryland job. I ended up getting the chief of staff role, made an impact, but my heart was over here. So
Mhm.
as I was able to learn through the money knowledge and a game plan, having a game plan finally, that I could transition out of, a job and have my own business. So I've been in business for myself without a job for 28 of those 30 years. And
Wow.
my husband was a carpenter, master carpenter for a theater company. And after he welded his eye and staple gunned his leg, I'm like, "Listen, you
Oof.
need to come work with me." And he's been side by side as my business partner for 25 of those 30 years. So side by side, honored
Wow.
to be working with him. So we've got a great partnership. So that's our
Yeah.
story.
You know what? I got a lot of questions, and I know the audience does too, because that was like a full master class, if you will, of here's how I came to be where I'm at. And I know that it took a number of steps for you to
Mhm.
get there. So first we have Kayron. Kayron, thank you so much, Queen, for being here tonight. Glad that you can be with us, and as well as Chevy. Hey, Queen, good evening, and thank you so much, ladies, for being here and taking some time with us tonight. Okay, so Layla,
Yep.
like there is, because serving in the government space, and I was in the military for 30 years, there is a mindset that is there, right, about working in those types of industries or
Mhm.
whatnot, right? So you're like interning, okay, at
Mhm.
Congress.
Mhm.
You're getting ready I mean, you campaign for senators, politicians, delegates, whatnot. And most people, and I'll say this because, again, I'm speaking from being in that type of environment, would not like give up that type of, I would say, streams of income
Mhm.
to do something on their own so early. Like you were young
Mhm.
and you said you wanted to start a business. Like, what was this mindset shift? Like, you said your heart was over here, but you had this job. So, what was that turning point for you? Like, you say it's, I wanted to teach my, family, but was there more to that?
That's a great question. When I look back and I go, wow, this is pretty exciting. What we've been able to do. I'm a spiritual person, and
Yeah.
I felt like I was being led, and it was this strong pull. And I tell folks when I'm coaching them, I'm like, it's so easy to give up when it's tough. When everyone's like, why don't you stay with the state job? And I mean, everybody that knew me was like, I was going to run for office and be a senator and help, help women, help the underserved. I'm a daughter of immigrants. I wanted to help everybody in all different communities, and I got into politics and I hated the politics of politics. And I'm like,
Hmm.
I can't make an impact here. And I ended up, I said, wow, even what I'm doing in my business, my part-time business, everyone over here, because so many politicians and their aides, they're clueless about money. They're making legislative decisions and they don't understand budgets and how all that works. And really, so I believed in myself. I just went all in. And I think that's what a lot of people, I just really focused on believing in myself. I had a great coaches, great support. And my husband's been side by side my rock this entire time. My parents have been my rock this entire, go for it, and I was smart. I saved money. I didn't just do it haphazardly. I had a plan and, worked the plan. And I was just speaking at so many places that I had so many people that wanted help and not enough time. So I really was blessed to have that kind of organic referral system of people going, she cares about people. You want to meet with her. She's not like other financial people that just want to sell you stuff. And I
Yeah.
think my mission is to serve, not sell. And when we sit down with people, it's
Mm.
like they feel the heart of what I've created called the mission team. And our team is really focused on serving others and financial health. Man, I've just been so fired up for 30 years. People are like, how are you so excited? I still feel like I mean, I was 22 when I started. I still feel like I'm 30. Like my girl's like, Mom, you can't keep telling everybody you're 30. I'm like, well, I'm still 30. Y'all are getting older. Mama's getting younger.
Right. That's right. That's how it works.
It's just believing in myself, right? And then just
Yeah.
not giving up. And so many people give up so easily. Getting wealthy, getting financial independent is a process. And so many people you said something about football. People love football right now. And there's people spending more time watching sports than they do fixing their family's financial house. And financial
Mm.
homes are collapsing because of lack of financial literacy, lack of a financial game plan, and lack of a financial coach. And we offer all three.
Yeah.
So that's been it's just there's a huge need. Americans are not educated financially and don't have plans. It's about, if you look at the numbers, out of 100 people, only 5% of Americans that is 65 are financially independent and don't have to work if they don't want to. Only 5%. Yeah,
Wow.
36% are still working, 54 are 47 don't have can't. They're broke, living off children's social security welfare. I mean, it's in the high 90s where people are still working or don't have enough, like
Yeah.
in the bottom. So, we want to fix it. So the mission's bigger than the why is big. The why is big. So that's
Yeah.
that's what kept me going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, you've been doing it for, you said 30 years. So
30
there
years.
has to be some deep whys, not just
Yeah.
one, but some several different ones as to how you're still able to provide financial counseling, because it is one of the components of wellness. And people always talk about spiritual, social, mental, sometimes intellectual, environmental. But
Mhm.
for me, what I always appreciated was being financially well, because of the
Mhm.
stress and the turmoil and um it's kind of like this hovering question, if you will, of how did I get here? I don't feel secure. I and money is something that, as and as particularly, I know we have men in here, and thank you, my men, for being in here supporting us, because absolutely love y'all being here. But as women, sometimes we allow our partners to do all of the financials decisions, and when it comes to, okay, now what if your partner leaves, maybe a divorce or separation, or even sometimes a loss, we as women are sitting there trying to pick up the pieces,
Mhm.
so let's
Mhm.
just talk to that case scenario. All right. So I've got several um questions here, or comments. So Chevy says, I decided this month to deliver a financial management workshop to my family so that my kids can be aware and be educated on money and how to use it, spend it, and invest it. And I'm hosting a financial workshop for young girls this coming Thursday. So this is where, we do have now, where we're starting to realize that we got to be in the know, and now educating our communities so that way they know. So absolutely love, love, love that. And then Natalie has a question. All right, so we'll take Natalie's question before we move into the bigger conversation of what I would want us to, kind of tease out just a little
Sure.
bit. So she says, as a financial coach, what is some advice you would give to someone going through probate?
That's a great, great question. I mean, really sitting down with just getting before making any decisions is sitting
Oh,
down
hold
with
on,
some,
Layla.
yeah,
Can you explain what a probate is? Because
yeah,
sometimes, we use terminology and not everybody is, of understanding. So,
yes.
what
Okay.
is
So
probate?
it sounds like, yes. So what probate is the process when someone passes away and the what they, their assets have to go through a process called probate to determine, who's going to get it and all of that. And some things bypass probate and you don't have to even deal with it. But if you're going through probate, that means there's some things that have to be done. Um, sometimes you don't have any options with it. Sometimes you do. So it's good to sit down with, for instance, in a probate area, you really need an estate planner or somebody that can give you legal, which I can't. I'm more of a financial. So from the financial side, sitting down with somebody and going, okay, what are my options? When we look at debt, when we look at, life insurance proceeds, when we look at investments, what are the best ways for me to handle that moving forward? And that's where we would come in and really be able to guide somebody
Yeah.
on the best way to do that. And a great thing to do is to prepare before something hits probate so that your assets are going where you want them to go, and not have to, the state decide, where it's going to go. So it's good to have this conversation for
Yeah,
sure early.
I agree.
Yeah.
As someone who had to deal with a lot of the financials when my dad passed
Mm.
away, and he did not have a will, and then it just kept going in, and there was a lot
Wow.
of property that he had,
Mm.
and then starting to realize that there needs to be some proactive steps to take, because we're not going to be here all the days. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, what are we doing right now to prepare ourselves, our families, our property, or whatnot? So,
Yeah, and I
um,
think what's really good about this is when a lot of people when they're thinking financial, I got to plan finances, they think investments, they
yeah,
think retirement, they think college, but I'm like, you got to start off with the foundation. And Natalie, the foundation, when we sit down with somebody, is making sure the financial house is strong. Do we have a will? Do we have life insurance? Do we have an emergency fund? Are these things the foundation? Because if and then we talk about the budgeting, the debt, that plan here and over here, everyone wants to talk about the investments, but that's the roof. We got to really talk about these things at the bottom, the foundation of the house before we build the walls and we build the roof. So yeah, that's an important conversation for sure, because it puts
yeah,
people in a devastated situation if they don't have those things in place.
absolutely. That's a
Yeah,
really great question, Natalie.
yeah,
So, thank you so much.
great question. Mm-hmm.
For bringing that up, and Layla for answering that.
Sure.
And then Leslie said money is like oxygen.
Mm.
Okay, so I'm with I'm with her too. Leslie, it's like we cannot do anything, especially in this world today, without any money.
Yeah.
And she says the state of Florida is a probate state. And Texas, she says, is too. Natalie saying Texas is too. So she and Natalie says thank you.
You're
So
welcome. Thank you.
yeah, I think you went in just a little bit about what we should be this foundation. Let's talk
Mhm.
about the foundation. Okay? Like what
Yeah.
are the components of a good foundation?
So when you're building a strong financial house, you've got to look at, okay, how what do I want? So we have a conversation of paint for the picture of me the life that you want. Forget what he's doing over here, what she's doing over there. What do you want it to look like? And we start with a conversation that God forbid anything happens to you. Do you have any dependents that would be financially devastated if you didn't come home or if your partner didn't come home? Would there be anybody be financially devastated? And a lot of people would say yes. And of course, unfortunately, half of Americans today don't even own life insurance outside of the job, have none. And if they have it, a lot of them have it on the job. And I tell them, look, just because it's on the job doesn't mean it's going to come with you. You got to, and of course, my military folks that are on, we've done a great job educating folks that are military that leave the military, very affordable options for that. But it's like GoFundMe is not a plan, guys. You've
Mm-mm.
seen GoFundMe for people that didn't plan, and it's a financial devastation. So we want to make sure that people get an affordable plan. A lot of insurance professionals out there are selling the wrong stuff. So we really educate people on the options so that they have the right plan for their family, not overspending and being, sold these gimmicky kind of insurance policies out there. So we look at that, and then we look at, emergency fund, we look at will. Do you have a will? Do you have guardians for your kids? Do you have powers of attorney? I lost my aunt. My aunt was in a car accident with two teenagers, and she was in a coma for 18 months.
Oh,
And she was alive, and so she needed these forms. She didn't have those forms, so the state decided who was going to make financial decisions and health decisions on her behalf. And it went really well because people got along. But in cases when where there's no plan, you're leaving it in the hands of someone else. So the question is, do you want to leave your family's health, your family's financial future in the hands of someone else, the government, the probate, or do you want to take control? So with some prep, it doesn't take long. I tell folks the first appointment is like an hour, second appointment is about an hour and a half. I tell people with 3 to 5 hours, you can have a really good plan set up literally from top to bottom.
yeah.
But the big one is life insurance, wills, and emergency fund is really making sure that's in place so that, if you're paying off your debt or your student loans, or you're paying off your mortgage, or you're funding retirement or college, that doesn't topple, because the life insurance is not life insurance is income protection.
Hmm.
It replaces the income that doesn't come in the household. It's not some gimmick. It's really needed. Like if my income's needed, life insurance replaces it. That's what it's there
Mm,
for. So
yeah.
if John doesn't come home, Mary's not financially devastated. If Mary doesn't come home, John's not financially devastated. It's just having that plan and that conversation that we make it very easy to understand, that it's like 5 reasons why you need life insurance. You don't need to be gimmicky about it. You just have to understand it. And a lot of insurance companies make it very complicated. It's actually very simple.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing that, especially
Yeah.
how you explained the foundation, because I think foundation for anything, I mean, the way that
Mhm.
we talk about, how we live our life, foundational principles are so important, especially when it comes to finances. And, just like emergency funds. You talked about emergency funds, right?
Mhm.
There
Yeah.
are a lot of people who don't have a savings account. They don't
Right.
have any type of savings, right?
Right.
And with the temperature and what is happening in the world right now,
Mm.
with people, getting pink slipped or saying, hey, you might be out of a job and
Yeah.
whatnot, how much emergency funds should people have right now? Like, say, for a household, like average number of children, two.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, how much do you think is reasonable for
Mhm.
someone who is in a transition mode who needs monies to carry them through? Because
Yeah.
this is real life. This is what's really happening.
Yeah. And people don't have them. Ideally, um, 6 months of expenses tucked away. Ideally, some people in their situation they need more. Some people 3 months would be fine, depending on the field they're in and how quickly they could feel like they could get back on their feet. Some people have to do a complete career change, have to start a whole new, go back to school, get another, start something else. Uh, Americans today don't even have, you know, that much. So I say, look, let's start baby steps. Let's start with baby steps. Let's get to $1,000. Let's get to $1,000. And, we break it down. Oh, I can't, so we break it down. So that's where a lot of people are like, I can never save 6 months. Well, they're not taught. This is not taught. What we teach is not taught in the schools. I mean, I had in private school my whole life. I went to an all women's private college, took a business degree, and I wasn't even taught basic money. So it's not taught. So that's what we're doing. We're doing a lot of sitting down and financial literacy. I think it was Chevy that's doing the
Yeah.
women's talk. I want you to reach out to me, Chevy, because I would like to team up with you. That is fascinating. I'm so excited about what you're doing. Um, and that's what we need to do. So getting into the high schools, getting into the colleges, but they're not saving anything. So I have this really neat example, Chevy, where we put up a coffee, a latte, and a refresher from Dunkin' and Starbucks, and say, how many of you and high school students run there all the time? And I'm like, if you put $5 a day towards a coffee and you just tuck that away, what is that a week? 5 times a week, like $25. I said,
Mhm.
what's $25 times 4 weeks? They're like $100. I said, could you put away $100 if you knew it at 40 years from now you'd have 1.2 million? And they're like mouth drop, like a
Yeah.
cup of coffee. So we get people saying, look, just because you don't feel like you can have an emergency fund, let's start. So I think people are spending money over here and here and here, but they're not intentional. We like, look, it's not about telling you not to spend money. It's about being intentional and being like, wow, I want to put my money over here because Layla showed me that my goals that I want over here, I can reach them if I just put this much away every month or every week. I could hit this goal by this date. And
Yeah.
it is exciting. It's so empowering. Like
It
when I
is.
saw mine, like I didn't have any personal debt. My husband did.
Yeah.
And I started part time just to make 500 to 1,000 a month to pay off debt because we were in love. We wanted to get married, buy a house, and I used my part time business income and chunked down and paid off his debt. And I had my debt ladder on the fridge. And Rochelle, I Sharpie marketed as soon as I paid one off. I was like, woohoo, let's celebrate. And we got rid of all of our debt in such a short period of time, just following
Yeah.
a very simple game plan. I got a game plan. What I do,
Absolutely.
I got a game plan and I followed it because it's my goals.
Yeah.
And if you're committed and a game plan, man, it'll help you. It'll help you. It helps everybody. And most people aren't taking the time to do the game plan.
Yeah, I love the word that you use, which was intentional, because that's
Intentional. Yeah.
one of the words that I use a lot in my vocabulary,
Yes.
especially at our age, because we understand when it gets to retirement, a
Yeah.
lot of us are just not going to be working hard and doing all the things. And we definitely don't want to be working hard at 70 and 80,
No.
our bodies just can't take that in our mental state. But we do have lots of comments here, Layla. So
Right.
Leslie talked about, healthcare directives as being part of the
Yep.
foundation too.
Yep.
That a
All
lot of
that legal
people,
stuff. Healthcare
yeah,
director. Yep. All those.
Yep, that definitely needs to be a document
Yep.
that is, and everybody knows where it's at and it's already filed and all the things, right? And Chevy says, yeah, it's so important to hear these documents done. I know these are things people don't want to have with their loved ones, but it's needed. They don't
Yes.
want to have the conversation, right?
Yeah, I tell folks the healthcare directive, the will, the power of attorney, the financial power of attorney, big deal. My I learned this the hard way going through my aunt. It's like I need someone to make financial decisions. I have all three of my daughters who are in college. Chevy, you probably know this, right? With your experience, it's um, they go off to college and they can't. They're adults now. They're 18. Mom can't make financial decisions for her. I have documents for each of them. So if something happened and they need mama to come make a financial decision, they need that financial power of attorney. That's an important document in addition to the medical power of attorney. And I'm not an attorney, so I'm not giving legal advice, but those are what I've personally done as a financial coach, making sure my clients get those documents done. And
Absolutely.
my personal household. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Natalie says just do it. And
Let's
when it
go.
comes to like,
That's right.
creating the foundation and
Yeah.
making sure that we have these documents in
Yeah.
place. And Leslie says she likes, I like how Layla breaks it down in the hours,
Thank you. Yeah.
So definitely,
Just making it simple for people to understand.
yeah, because money, it's one of those taboo things. And as
It is.
women, minorities,
Mm-hmm.
we weren't as educated or put into environments where we talked about money, and the important use of money and what money can do for you. So
Yeah. And
there's a lot of breakdowns.
yeah, and I like when she said whoever said money's like oxygen. It is the number one cause of stress,
Yeah,
fight, divorce, anxiety, depression is money. And that's, I really I really kid around when I'm doing financial talks to help people. I'm a money doctor. I mean, I want to help people become financially healthier, because
I love that.
so I'm a certified MD. Be like, what? You're an MD? I'm like, I'm a money doctor. Yeah, because I help you feel like this. Ready? No stress when it comes to money, because I was stressed all the time, guys. And I think once you're we all need it, and we all deserve a lot of it, and to bless people, we need to be, and you deserve it. You deserve to bless your family and friends and give and serve, and money's a great tool. If you have none, you can't serve anybody.
Yeah,
Think about all the things we could do in this world if everybody was money literate, all the wonderful humans that are generous and had some money literacy, because we show you not just to save, we show you how to invest. Your money's working hard for you.
yeah,
And that's what I loved when Maria showed me that rule of 72. I'm like, I want to teach this to everybody. I don't want to have 10,000 at the bank. I'd rather have 640,000 the same time frame, 40,000 or 640,000.
yeah,
Like, you could have, if you left your money at the bank, you'd have 40,000. If you put in investments, you'd have 640,000. I'm like, why did my dad not learn this? My dad was 62 like this. What is this? What is it? What are you talking about? My dad just turned 92, guys. And he is financially independent because he started applying these concepts. Are you ready? At 62.
yeah,
He was like, it's too late for me. I'm like, no, it's not, Dad. Let's start. And he sold our family restaurant and said, Layla, what should I do with it? August 1999. He and my mom, I have a disabled sister that's with them. They've been living off the interest since August of 99 because following a plan. And he's like, it's too late for me. No, it's not. So it's not too late for anybody.
yeah.
But he's
I love that.
92 and doing well.
I love that,
Isn't that awesome?
because and it is a tool and it can get you, into a position where you feel like again, you don't have this cloud of shame and guilt over you because you just didn't know what to do with
Yes.
the money. Because, Leslie says a few years ago, the stats of most Americans didn't have $500. And if an emergency happens, they
100%.
can't bounce back from the
100%.
emergency, you know? So, we really need to be mindful of the monies that we have access to and what we're doing with it. And
Mm-hmm.
Chevy has a 19-year-old who is in college right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then Natalie says she learned that power of attorneys are not valid after
Right.
death. I think it's
Right.
important for people to understand that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of just these little things, right, that we need to start to understand. And I think more and more as we get a little bit more wiser, we are reaching a certain point in our lives, we start to really evaluate and do an assessment on what are we doing, where do
Yeah.
we want to be. And Chevy says, wow, and congratulations to
Thank
your
you.
dad.
Yeah, I think what's great is some people aren't even willing to get get another opinion. Like if you've been doing stuff a certain way and don't have a good, like if you've got stuff here, 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 and here, you've never sat down and looked at it all together in a nice holistic game plan. That's what I encourage everybody for 2025 is you owe it to yourself to get a financial checkup, you know, a
Yeah.
financial checkup and feel healthier in all areas. Just like we always have to go to the doctor for this or that, just for updates and this and that. Finances, you just can't set up a plan and think it's magically. You got to definitely, keep checking on it. And if it's a good plan and it sticks, you still just need a review. It's good to get it reviewed and have an objective because there's a lot of stuff floating out there that have come out that people are, getting into, TikTok. I saw I should put my money here and it's just not good. I mean, it is not good.
On TikTok.
Yeah. People
Oh
are
God.
people are giving people financial advice on TikTok, and it's just some really inaccurate information.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, prior to all this TikTok stuff. But yeah, people come, I saw this on TikTok. Is this good advice? I'm like, no, it's
Yeah.
not.
So
And here's why. Here's why. Based on what they want and need, that would have been a damaging program for them.
yeah.
So yeah,
Can you give us some top tips? So, for example, if I got all these credit cards, okay,
hmm
because this is again, I'm the real deal, and I'm going to share like my story.
yeah,
For when I went in the military and I was young, I got all these credit cards in the mail, okay,
hmm
because they were targeting us. And, I thought, well, I'm away from home. Guess what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get all these credit cards and I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to buy all these clothes and whatever else I need. And lo and behold, there's like, these interest that was on top that I just
mm,
could not get myself out of. It wasn't until like 10 years down the road where I realized, hey, I need to like get rid of these credit cards, figure out a plan on how I'm going to get out of debt. So, what are some tips, like some actionable tips that our audience can walk away from that
yeah,
they can start to do, as they are building their
yeah,
finances, and because this is a real conversation. Even Leslie says powerful, juicy, and empowered. Like we want our communities to be financially sound.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So, what can you give us? And I do want to say, Christy, hey, Queen, thank you so much for being here from Florida and being in on this conversation. So, I appreciate you. So,
Awesome.
what would you say?
Debt is the plague of this country. It's so high, by billions. Billions, and there's so much credit card debt. There's even trillions of student loan debt. There's so much debt. And I tell folks, number one, you can get out of it. I've seen so many bad situations we help people get out of. The first is I want to get out of my debt and make a decision like, hey, I'm drawing a line in the sand. I want a plan. What we do, we have this really great, what's called a debt elimination software. And in minutes, if I have the name of the debt, the balance, the minimum payment,
Mhm.
and the interest rate, we can show somebody, and this is what was on my fridge, how long it'll take to pay off the debt. And some people are doing, like, if they're just paying minimums. And I tell folks, if you're able to just pay minimums, there's a difference between paying minimums revolving every month or fixed minimums. There's a difference. And if they're
Mhm.
committed to fixed minimums, then we can ladder the debt down faster. So we do we do it for them, and some people like might have a minimum of $38, and they automatically round it to 50. Let's just say,
Mhm.
and they do this for a lot of debts, and then they're doing a little bit extra on each one. And there's a better strategy to take all the extra that you're doing on them, on each one, and put it at the top of the ladder, and then hit it. So we treat, if they have, 3 debts, or if they have 15 debts, we treat it all like one big payment, Rochelle.
Yeah.
So now we're like, okay, let's do this. We can do this. And, we find out if they're revolving, if they're fixed. And then if they can do extra, we put at the top of the ladder. If they can't, it will still work. They just have to be diligent, making sure that they don't add anything new on this. And anything they add new, they can pay off at the end of the month. So what's causing the debt is they don't have a good spending plan. I don't like to say budget. I spending plan, intentional spending plan. Like, if I want this much to eat out, this is how
Yeah.
much I'm going to eat out. Like, this is a big thing my husband and I did, is like, okay, do we really need cable? So we got rid of cable and we just did Netflix. Okay. And then we're like, what else can we cut? Well, we really don't need to eat out that much. Let's limit our eating out budget to this much a week. Transformed my whole life. Those two things. It's like watching my eating out.
Mm-hmm.
And he was big on that, watching the eating out budget. And some people have other things that they spend money on. That was big for us. Other people, it's like, do you really need to do this? I mean, you can. No, this is a priority, Laila. I have to do this. Well, great. Then where are we going to get the money from? So we really guide people, and they feel really good about the process because they don't realize they're spending. I had a gal spending, I think it was $800 a month eating out, 200
A
a week
month?
eating out. 200 a week eating out. And she's like, really? I said, yeah, because she was spending 200 a week eating out, between breakfasts, lunches, going out with her friends, drinks on the weekends. 200 a week. So it adds up. So I'm like, hey, dude, we cut it back. And she's like, transformed her whole entire financial future. I mean, she started saving, she started investing, she started an emergency fund. We started paying off her debt. Life was good.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just takes a little carburetor adjustment,
Yeah.
So the debt snowball has been, pretty magical for folks. They just need those couple of things. And then how do I pay it off? Because a lot of people, let me pay the highest interest off. That's not necessarily the right one to pick. It depends on all the other debts and what they look like. And it runs the scenario of which way should I pay it off the fastest. And some people have it all wrong. They pay the wrong one off first, which causes them to stay in debt longer. So
Yeah. So, I think that is so good for, how we manage our money. And this also, for me, when I hear this, it's being the leader of your life. Like this right here, you know what I mean? It's like, I have enough discipline. I have enough, um, what do you call it? The reserve or regard. I can't remember exactly what the word is. Restraint. There's the word. I have restraint to not try to keep up with the Joneses, not trying, to like live outside of my means on things that I just want right now. Like, there's a lot of people that I know who are very much into, I see something, I buy it. I see something, I buy it, and not really waiting. So one of my things that I do, so I love to shop. Like, everybody knows I love to shop. But what I do when I'm shopping is I'm very intentional on which things that I'm looking for, right? If I see something, I may not purchase it right then and there. I go and I leave and I think about it. And more than half the time, I don't go back and go get it because it's like, I don't need that. Like, I got enough. And then you look in the closet and you be like, I got like 3 or 4 of those. So what was I even thinking? Right. So though, but I mean, it has to be real to the person. Like, what is your lifestyle right now? And are you able to make some adjustments or have a budget? Like, I got look, y'all, I got a budget. I can't be just going out there. And Dominic, he's like, this is the budget. And so let me just also share with you, Laila, and I know we have a lot of audience members here who are in business. Okay. And we know that bootstrapping or, trying to get your business up and running and all the ins and outs of that, So, what type of advice would you give for somebody who, okay, say for example, these folks are getting pink slipped out here, okay, and they
Mhm.
now want to start a business, okay? What would you recommend when it comes to the financial side of the house?
What would I recommend as far as what type of business to start? Is that your
No,
question?
no, no, no. Like,
Oh,
what should we think about in regards to our monies?
oh, okay.
Because a lot of people's like, I'll just go and just develop the LLC, okay, and then
Mhm.
like not even realizing that that comes with a cost,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know. And so, like, what are some tips that you would share when it comes to the business and the finances?
I think, and when I'm actually meeting with people that have brand new businesses, they haven't really, it's just up and running. It's really very important to really have a plan because you need a personal plan and a business plan. You need to have have a, uh, your business expenses figured out
Yeah.
and figure out, hey, in order for me to stay in business, this is how much revenue I need to bring in. This is what I need to be bringing in. And are there any other streams of income in the house? Like some people have a partner or spouse maybe that brings income. So we look at the whole picture. Another thing business owners uh, fail to start early enough, I think, is a retirement plan as a business deduction to their business. They think they need to have a lot of money. I'm like, look, you start that as soon as possible. As soon as you're able to generate some income, because it's a tax deduction, and it's in Maryland where I am, right? If you put $100 and you don't need a lot, like I tell folks, we could set up a new person's retirement plan um, with $50. You could start with $50, 25 or 50, 25 bucks a month as the lowest. 50
Mm-hmm.
bucks is about average, but $1 a day to fund your retirement. Like people like, oh, I'll wait till I'm, and 5, 10 years go by, Rochelle, and they still haven't started anything. And it's a tax deduction, so it saves you federal tax, state tax by having a business by having that on your setting that up. So that's one thing I always tell new business owners to not forget to do when you're figuring out a budget for yourself is to pay yourself first in that plan because that'll off the top $100, 15% federal tax if you're the lowest, plus 7.5. You'll save 22% in tax. You'll save 15% in Social Security tax just by starting a retirement plan. I'd be like, wow,
Mm.
I didn't know I could do that. And it's a write off on your business, which pays you money. So you're paying yourself and you're writing it off in the business as an expense. It's a win-win. So, but a budget, a intentional plan for the business, because a lot of people go in going, oh, I'm going to magically. No, what are your goals for the business, and what are the necessary expenses year one?
Yeah.
You don't have to be doing everything. You don't need an LLC year one. You don't need all this, that, and that other thing year one. What do you have to do to run lean and mean first couple of years till you build it up?
Yeah.
you know so, and there's a lot of great things, free marketing they could do on social media. I mean, our business took off. I couldn't be where I before the pandemic. I was very limited to Maryland, DC, Virginia, kind of that area. Now I'm like all over the country. I have a team that spans 15, 20 states. We're
Wow.
able to bless and impact people through our financial talks, through helping clients across other states. So there are businesses that can really launch using, social media platforms, and, someone like you who can help them with that. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, because that's what
Yeah.
we and I'll say we,
Yeah.
me and my clients, we talk about the putting yourself out there and make a name for yourself, and growing your business in such a way where you're also growing your brand, because I feel like that is something that's missing. A lot of people just make the
Right.
the LLC, they got the
Right.
name, they don't think about the money, they don't think about the brand, they don't think about a lot of different things that go into it, so that way you can accelerate your success. And so those are when you start to look at
Yeah.
all of the different ways that you can create your business and how you can be financially set, it's just so important for us to be in the know. We got
Right.
to be in the know, you
And I,
know.
hmm
Go
and I
ahead.
love what you do. I love what you say because it's like you help people. And I
Yeah.
think this is where people miss it. It's like you help people, what makes you different? What makes you like, if you haven't read her book, it's phenomenal. It's like
Oh,
you help people go, okay, why am I unique? And I
yeah,
know there's nobody on this planet that does what I do. And I'm 100% confident in myself. And I believe my success is based, first and foremost, I give, all credit to my, to God, for where I am.
that's right.
I didn't create that. I'm financial idiot when I said, guys, there is hope for all of us. But all I knew is like, you know what makes me different, and how do I get the message out there? And it's like when you've got that, guys, I would definitely invest in that piece, because that's what's going to help you really feel the energy of your business, whatever that business is, at a whole nother level faster. And we're looking at in this day and age, you got to get further faster. And
Yeah.
someone like you, Rochelle, I think can really help people get further faster and really hone in on what is my mission and who is my audience,
Right.
and
Yeah. I
that's
just
important.
realized, like again, from the military experience and then starting the business and
Mm,
then my time. Like there's a
yeah.
finite amount of time that I have. And what is it that I can do to impact and influence more people? And so you do have to have the messaging. You
Yeah.
do have to have that unique value proposition. You do need to have the story and the messaging
Yeah.
on top because we're in a competitive world right now.
Hmm.
Like everybody is vying to do the same things.
Hmm.
What is it that your customers, your clients are going to say, I want you? And you shared a story before we even got on about the woman that came back to you. So,
Hmm.
can you share with the audience what you were telling me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I met a young woman at a networking event, and um, our energies, we connected. We met for coffee. She's like, I already have a financial person. My husband, we're dealing with his guy. Uh, that really wasn't the purpose of my meeting. I just want to have authentic conversations and meet great people. And so I was just listening to her. We became friends. And 8 years later, she just reached out to me and said, hey, we're splitting up. I have no clue what I'm doing. I would be honored if you could help me. And it's just wonderful to be there for people, and know it's in their time,
Yeah.
and it was just an honor to do that for her. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's there are so many people that do what I do. Like there's so many people that are licensed in insurance and investments. And how are you different? I'm like, we're different. We just are. We're different. We care. We don't just transact business. And when they get that free financial game plan, they go, oh, this is different, because most companies charge for it. I'm like, we're going to sit down and do a free session, and she just cried. She cried at the first appointment. She was just like emotional. And when I brought back the results, she's like, oh my gosh, Laila, she started to feel like I can do this. Like, this isn't so overwhelming,
Yeah.
because we build the house. We don't start with the roof. We build the strong foundation and ask people, what do you want? And then from there we go, okay, let's do this. And then let's do this. And
Yeah.
we'll go at your pace. And we also, just so you know, we also teach out of a really wonderful book. I'd love to offer anyone that wants one, and they can email me, and we'll send them a digital copy. And I'm teaching out of, just want to teach and empower people to get their finances in order, and help their family members and friends and their communities learn. I'm looking for people who speak Spanish that are in the United States. Unfortunately, I can't. I've been looking and interviewing folks that speak Spanish. I'm looking for people in different states. We're hiring in every state right now, looking for people. We're paying for people to get all their licenses right now. So that's been exciting, to invest in people that want to get into this field. Like they invested in me. I'm like, I want to pay it forward and select some great people that want to bless others with this financial literacy. So
I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. Like your success, especially just saying, this is just what I'm going to be doing. This is a business and I look, and I'm going to make this work. And the
mhm,
mindset of not giving up and just keep going and believing and trusting in yourself. I think that is key. That's
Mhm.
generalized, whether or not you're in finances, whether or not you're life coaching or being a consultant or whatever the case may be. Once you start something and you're so convicted in it, just stay on message, y'all. Just stay in there. It will get better and things will
Yes.
start to work in your favor. Everything that we do, and I love how you brought God into the
Mhm.
conversation as well. It's a spiritual journey. Like everything that we do as business owners who
Yeah.
create our own path, our own destiny, it's a spiritual journey. So absolutely love that you came on the show tonight. Y'all, wasn't this so good? Like, we've
Oh,
got
thank
folks in
you.
here saying, I love it. This is just like the
I gotta
conversation.
meet. I gotta meet Chevy Mac. I just have to say, I gotta meet Chevy.
She
I
is
gotta
the
meet you,
queen of
Chevy.
queens.
I gotta meet her.
Yes, connect with her on LinkedIn, Queen.
Yes.
She is doing so good with all types of different, she in the realm of entrepreneurship, having the spirit of entrepreneurship. So hey Joyce, how you doing? My family is up in here, up in
Oh,
here. How you doing today? Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Hope you're doing well, Queen. And then K Ron, they gave us a heart.
oh,
And then she says she'll be reaching out because I want to bring
sure.
financial understanding to my girls with ambition program. So she does have a nonprofit, she's getting the works to do that. But yeah, I mean, I think the more and more we can start to talk about money and
Yeah.
what it can do for us and how it can
Hmm.
bring, like turn around the way that our families may have thought, about the
Right.
money situation. I think that is so important. And I know that everyone here, y'all, we all agree that this is a conversation that we need, and we'll probably need you to come back, Layla, so that way we can have a part two.
Yeah,
Um,
we definitely need to talk about generational wealth, like how to build
yes.
generational wealth. I mean, that's what I came here for, and it's like I've started that with my girls, and it's very important to keep these conversations going for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Generational wealth is definitely one of those terms that we continue to hear almost daily, of people, and yet still we need to understand, what does generational wealth mean and
Right.
what does it look like,
Right.
you know? And I think that too is really about educating, understanding in its entirety. So we will have you back part two. Okay. Because I know it's the top of the hour. Folks be trying to go and get ready for the week because it is Sunday night, y'all. So some of y'all giving these kids baths and making these lunches and trying to get your dinner all tied up.
Yeah.
So Layla, I do want to ask you, okay, first of all, if there's anything that we haven't shared that you want to share, please feel free to share with the audience if you had
Yeah.
anything else that you wanted to speak to.
Oh, I appreciate it. Well, thank you. First of all, I'm honored to be here. Thanks for everyone and your great comments. Here to serve. Can't do it alone. So if you, I would love to partner up with anybody that wants to continue conversations. We're looking for places to do our financial wellness workshops in person or on Zoom. So we'd love introductions for any groups of we're definitely open to talking about it. And I'm also looking to add folks to my team that would be qualified to work with us. They've got to have the heart to serve and not necessarily have a financial background. But if you're anyone that might be looking and be open to this field, that would be great. And I would be honored, like I said, if you all want to email me at LailaO'Brien@gmail, that's my direct email. I'll send everyone a digital copy. Um, we've teach the 9 fundamentals of money uh, in this book, and we like to get it out. We give everyone that book at all of our seminars and workshops. And I'm actually doing a live webinar Tuesday night for those that are interested in hearing more about the expansion side, because we are opening up in every state of the U.S. So
Wow.
yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay, y'all.
Yes.
You got her email address there, and she will send you the downloadable.
Yep.
So that way you
How
can
many
have
work?
that at your fingertips, and it's how money works.
Yep.
So if you're interested in that, and go ahead and share, because sharing is caring. All right. And if you need it, somebody else in your community needs it too. Okay.
Yes.
Um, but I do appreciate you coming here and spending time with us tonight. So,
Thank
my
you.
last question, which I ask every guest when they come on this show, is when we get to a certain age, and the age is 80, okay, my age is 80, all right, I'm
Mm-hmm.
always looking down the road. What do you want your friends and families to say
Mm.
about you at your 80th birthday
Wow,
party?
that's a wonderful question. Great book, Stephen Covey,
Yeah.
Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. One of the first books I read. Um, he says, begin with the end in mind. So I love that question because it's like, how do I want people to be talking about me? A couple of things. One is she believed in me.
Mm.
That's one. Another is she inspired me to become the best version of myself, my best self. And the last one is she made me laugh,
Yeah.
because I always love to bring joy and positivity to a room, and I'm always encouraging people. So I want to be remembered that way. Like she made me
Yeah.
laugh. She made things fun.
Yeah.
So
I think those are all going to be true for sure, just in the little
thank you.
time that I've known you. And always beginning with the end in mind. Y'all, we are purpose driven. Um, I say we're powerhouses, who
Yes.
really know and understand that, at the end of the day, it's all about how we made people feel. All
Mm-hmm.
right. And what are we doing in service of other people? And again, can get compensation, all right, for doing those things and living in our passion, living in our calling.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that we want to highlight and bring out when we have people like yourself that come on the show and just took a leap of faith and decided, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And you've been doing it for a very long time. So we are giving you your flowers
Mm,
while you're here. So continue on with that education and, sharing and giving the message to the folks that really need it. So Leslie says, great book. She approaches everything with the end in mind,
awesome.
so
Yep.
y'all, okay, it is the top of the hour. I want to make sure that we give everyone who came here a shout out. So, Shanila, okay, from New Jersey, thank you for being here. Lindsay, thank you. Pentecost, thank you. Kayron, thank you. Natalie, thank you. Chevy, did I already say Chevy? Probably said Chevy, because she's on here several times. Leslie, of course, thank you so much. We also had, I just want to make sure I got everybody here, y'all. Joyce, thank you for being here with us live. Make sure you share, put in comments if you enjoy the show, so that way we know that this is something that is definitely resonating with you. We will have her come back for part two. Probably look for that in the next couple of months or so as we can get her onto our calendar again. But really, just take care of yourselves, y'all. Take care of yourselves while we're here.
Mhm.
There's a lot going on. We understand there's a lot of uncertainty ahead of us, but stay in the fight, okay? Stay
Yeah.
in the fight. And of all the things, as we know, we gonna keep on slaying until we can't slay no more. Okay.
Yes.
So we understand what are we supposed to be doing in this world. So thank you so much for your time and for doing what you all do. And we will see you all not next Sunday night, because the Super Bowl, okay? And I know I can't compete with the Super Bowl, all right? And so we're not going to be here on February 9th, but we will be back here on February 16th. And I have another Slay Amazing guest to inspire us, to educate us a little bit more in her field of expertise. So come on back on the 16th of February. And if not, I will be on the Rise and Slay show And that's on Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about personal branding, okay?
Mm,
Because it is a thing. And yes, we all have a brand. And yes, how do we get better at showcasing who we are and what we do? Okay. So, Layla, I will have you stay on, and then everyone else, we will see you all. Oh, Chevy says, great conversation, ladies, with some fire bombs. And she said, thank you. You're
great.
absolutely welcome. Thank you all
Thank you.
for being here. Okay, we will see you all soon. Bye
Bye bye.
bye.
Thank you.